Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. Things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and medications are hard to pronounce, so please bear with me. Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
Anybody else want to expand on legal issues with epilepsy?
No, I had one, but go ahead.
Anyone else's partner get angry when you have seizures? I understand it's difficult for them as a partner, but I need some damn comfort too. I had a focal seizure yesterday morning after telling boyfriend. He kind of just sat there reactionless, told me he had no words. I told him I needed him to comfort me, tell him everything is going to be fine and I'll be okay. Oh, she's saying, tell me everything is going to be fine and I'll be okay. He actually said to me, it's not going to be fine and you'll not get better. Who says that to their partner? He apologized for this statement a couple times. He says he's depressed too. Thank you for all your support. We've been together 8 years and we aren't giving up. He's the sweetest, most caring man y'all didn't get to hear in my original post because I was upset. He said what he did because he was upset also. Wanted my newest med regimen to work too. Just because you've been together for that 8 years doesn't mean it's because he loves you, and doesn't mean he's the right one for you. If he's ever not gonna comfort you post seizure.
If they are with you at that point and they know you have epilepsy, they need to just accept it and learn how to care for you when it happens, because they're with you for some reason, and if it's not love, then fuck it. Like, get out of my life. I don't want you. If you're not going to care for me, fuck it. You know, like, I have only been with my partner for a year, and like, I know for a fact that she will always be there for me during a seizure. You know, it like, without a doubt.
And if she's given him the benefit of the doubt because he has depression, she can reciprocate that vibe with his conditions too. You know, make sure he takes his meds and, I don't know, make a favorite dinner once a week or something, but you still, that still shouldn't lower your standards.
Yeah, like, figure out
That's what I would say to her.
how you can help him to feel better as a part of your relationship. Both people need to work together to make a copacetic, happy relationship, and at least asking, Jesus, and at least asking, like, all right, I know you're depressed, but is there anything that, like, you would like me to do to make you happier? Okay, now that you're in a better mood, not that this is transactional, but now that you're feeling better, how do you feel about, just keeping an eye on me, making sure I'm okay?
I've said that, and actually, it wasn't to a significant other; it was to family. So that's kind of different.
Never should have to, like, do a transactional thing with a family member, but I don't know. We've already had that conversation with you, Pokey. I won't press you further.
I'd rather you press further because I don't remember that conversation.
When we were talking about you deserve better.
Thank you. I got you. I'm in pretty good standing right now. We're doing good. But yeah, I remember that conversation now that you say that. I don't remember what topic we were on. I forgot about everything else, but I remember that conversation, Brandon. Kate, can you give me a summary? Catch me up a little bit. He took me back
On the question that we
ago.
asked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you don't expect me to remember that. The post that we read was about a girl who had somebody that she's been with for 8 years, still saying boyfriend, but he clearly didn't support her after a couple focals, actually saying it was her fault.
Yeah,
Mm.
the whole thing was just about like partners being supportive versus unsupportive
Yeah.
when you have epilepsy and seizures. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what took me to family not being as supportive. Yeah. So there's that part.
I just always see that clear distinction of like somebody you're with is obviously not forced. You know, they should want to be there for you and everything that includes. Whereas family, yeah, I guess I can see how I can be a little bit more empathetic to their frustration because, you know, they didn't exactly choose me as a family member. But, you know, significant other knows what they're in for. And, you know, if you're going to be there, then do it right.
I was leading with the fact that I had epilepsy on Tinder before I met my girlfriend because I would like I didn't mention it and then I would go on a date and I would mention it and then I wouldn't hear back. So I was just putting it immediately in
But you still
or
had to pay for
mentioning
it,
it.
didn't you?
What was that?
You still pay for
I
the
said you
meal,
still
right?
had to pay for the meal, didn't you?
Oh, of course. Yeah. But that's just because I'm an old-fashioned gentleman when it comes to that, and I know it's it's old school, but first date, if I was the one who asked, I'm the one who pays. If you're the one who asked, you're the one who pays. I do French style logic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Uh
I can
but
tell by facial expressions. I'd be like, so you want to pay for your meal?
or a
That's what the
split.
face is
Yeah.
looking
Like
like.
if I go on a date with someone and I can tell like, this ain't gonna work out. You want to just split here, and that's sort of like a great way of being like, yeah, we're done. This ain't going anywhere else.
Or you could
You
wait
don't
till
even
the
have to leave off with the I'll call you.
Oh,
Okay, guys. I'm not. Hey, hey. I gotta
Annie,
take.
Annie.
Hi. I gotta take you guys outside. It is gorgeous right now. But
Not if
yes,
that's bringing you any closer to that lawnmower.
I have to walk past it.
Don't use us as an excuse, and we are not going to be part of your downfall if nothing is stopping you from that. If we have to get a baby gate set up,
No, you are my baby gate. That's why I logged on.
We,
Okay.
we would literally need a gate where like she would have to message one of us to unlock it.
It would be
daughter would have the only key.
like Jumanji. You would have this code, this encrypted code amongst you in these secret rooms. Which Brandon, you and I got to talk about that. I'm still laughing, but yes, I love your secret rooms.
Jumanji's a perfect example.
Yes, you would have to lock me in a cage that, oh, Athena, I can't watch you. I can't right now.
Wait, what secret rooms? Well, what?
Like where they hid the Jumanji, you know?
Yeah. I
When
mean,
when the hell was I talking about that?
yesterday, but
Oh God.
yeah, it's no, yeah, no big deal. It's no big deal. It's like, oh yeah, we got our chance. We got our chance.
Well, so you said
We-
secret rooms, but there's a secret apartment in my building's basement. So I
Okay,
thought I
that's
was talking
creepy.
about that. Um, and I got real confused, but I still
Yeah.
So they
don't
built
really
a
remember
torture, a
talking about
chamber.
it too much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yesterday, you guys.
That
Yeah,
sounds suspicious.
that's weird. That's kind of
Talk about
creepy.
an apartment in the basement. That's like built for the wrong
Oh
purpose.
no, so it
Oh,
It's a
they
there's
killed the
secret, like,
kitty.
crazy murder room or something.
Oh,
no
there's
no
a
no
little
no.
kitty.
So when I first moved into my building a few years ago, um, about like 6 months later, this was mid COVID. Um, I noticed a guy with a delivery truck pulling up out front. Um, and I was talking to the guy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just using the basement to store some stuff." He owned like a Greek restaurant, and it was hundreds of boxes of falafel mix. Um, And it was so I could go down to like the actual like apartment basement area, which had the storage units and the water heaters and stuff, and like that it was a normal what you would imagine basement. But there was a door on the far side, and there's a door on the outside, that on the side of the house that both go into this like tiny um basement apartment, which is basically like a kitchen area with a dishwasher, um, a sink, not like a kitchen sink. It's more like a bathroom sink. Yeah, a dishwasher and a sink. Another full size room, that's meant to be like a living room, and then a bathroom which has a shower and a toilet and a sink. So one day I noticed that the door had been broken into. So I made note of it. Like 6 months passed. I realized it was still open, and I decided to turn it into a like bike club hangout, um, for me and my friends. Uh, so basically, we removed the deadbolt lock that was on the door, replaced it with our own, um, set up a whole bike room in there. Now we also have a couch, an air mattress if anyone needs to stay down there. We're getting a TV down there soon. Um, and it's basically like anybody want to come out and or come over and hang out and work on their bikes. You've got literally like
Awesome.
a whole basement apartment to do it from that you only have to walk down 2 steps from a side door to get into, so it's super easy to get to.
Dude, you got a mod shop. Dude. Oh, that is so, oh,
I wish you
that's
were
awesome.
closer, man. I would just bring over all of my tools and just leave them there just so I can get them the fuck out of my garage. I literally have enough tools to open my own bike shop. I have everything down to like I hand build my own wheels. I have every spoke size, every different
I have a
color,
whole
every
bike
type of
shop.
tool.
I have a whole bike shop in my office room, basically. And if anybody who is using the space needs to use my truing wheel or yeah, my oh shit, you know what I'm talking
Chewing
about.
stand, dishing tool.
Truing stand or dishing tool, yes. Um, like I have them right upstairs and I can bring them down if need be. But yeah, it's nice having sort of like a hangout space for everyone that they can come to and just like bring their bikes and just hang out, talk about bikes, whatever.
Oh, that's so cool. I wish I could find somebody local that was like like that, man.
Rick, what would you want to ask?
I was just, so I was mulling over about what the post was about, where the girlfriend didn't feel she was supported enough by her boyfriend. So, lately my wife has been super supportive throughout the entire epilepsy thing. Before we knew what it was, she was upset and was talking to her friends about, something was wrong with me. Everybody thought I was ODing on pain meds from an unrelated surgery. But anyway, so we've been together 26 years now, and there was a lot of times when I thought she should have been more supportive, and I called her out on it. And I realized that I had to lower my expectations. But over the
Sure.
years, she improved and we talked things over. I don't know if it's because of how I showed support that she raised her level. But now, the point is, following my TBI and seizures and epilepsy, she's really awesome and supports me very well. So I think that the woman and her boyfriend, they need to communicate and set expectations. It could be he's doing his best, and that's kind of what he can give at the moment, and that will grow as they grow together more.
Very
Thank
good
you for
points.
that
Very good
very
points.
important point of view.
Others who get partial seizures, did you ever think you didn't exist? For the longest time, I, like most others, only knew epilepsy as falling to the floor and shaking all over the place. Because of that, I didn't know what to think when I slowly started having partial seizures in my mid-teens. During them, I became very third person and taken away from reality. It kind of felt like the cable in the back of the head connecting me to the matrix was coming loose. It was only when I went to a doctor a few years later that it was fully confirmed to be a medical issue, and that in fact it was astral projecting like Doctor Strange. I don't know who Doctor Strange is, but that sounds his doctor was named Doctor
That's
Strange.
literally a comic book character where he projects himself into different spaces through the astral plane, which is like basically like projecting your consciousness. So whatever the fuck this person is talking about,
It's sci-fi.
this is all sci-fi.
He said, come to find out, it was a medical issue. His cords were falling loose.
We need more drugs to discuss this topic.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need all the drugs to discuss this.
Who's Doctor Strange? Oh, you said it's a comic book, right?
Yeah, he's in the Marvel universe. Like, have you seen the new Marvel movies?
No, and actually, I have Disney subscription, and I do not watch anything. I got it
Okay.
for.
Yeah, so Benedict Cumberbatch plays the new or the only depiction of Doctor Strange in media. So yeah. Rick, what were you about to what are you raising your hand?
So I actually kind of get where this guy's coming from, because I'm a comic book nerd, I'm a sci-fi nerd, and I kind of think that this is the way he's able to express what he's feeling. Sounds a little goofy, like, picking Doctor Strange and things like that, but I kind of feel like, I don't know how old this person is, but if that's what this person knows, that's how he's trying to describe what he feels like.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily like he's saying, oh, I'm Neo from the Matrix. I think he's
Well, what he mentioned before Doctor Strange was the Matrix. How does it
Yeah.
compare? Can you translate it?
basically like a sci-fi thing, but I feel like with the Matrix, you find out that you're not really experiencing reality. You're connected to something that machines are projecting, so you feel like you're in a reality, but it's really machines controlling it. It's not necessarily that he feels that machines are controlling reality. He feels he's disconnected from what's around him. And I kind of feel like the Doctor Strange thing, Doctor Strange has the ability to astral project into different worlds, different bodies, different realms, again, disconnected from reality. So the seizures that he's experiencing, he feels like he's disconnected. So I've had a partial seizure where I was at work, felt it, where I got sweaty, I got dizzy, I felt my heart beating, and I went to sit down, and all the noises around me sounded distorted. So I heard my coworker, but it sounded like he was underwater, and I heard a clock ticking like swoosh, swoosh, just really slow. So that was like a kind of like a distortion of what was going on. And then I snapped out of it. So I feel maybe that's what this person is explaining. So not like he's just being goofy, just throwing out, cool things about science fiction. I think maybe that's his way of explaining what he's feeling like.
I think if they were just using that as a frame of reference, because that's the only thing that they could sort of come up with, I understand. that makes sense. That's fine. I just don't want anyone to think or them to think, you know, having a seizure is like Doctor Strange, where you can enter the like astral plane. It's like, no, no, our brain is going through a lot of stress. That is not what this is.
So we haven't had like an official icebreaker today, but a
Yeah,
couple of us contributed about what's the funniest thing you did during a seizure.
go
Oh.
Philly.
Yeah, watching the game right now. Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Just stopping in, seeing how everyone's doing. Um, uh, what's this? Hey, how you doing? Let's see, strangest thing.
Or
Oh,
funniest. Strangest or
funniest.
funniest.
Okay, I'll have to lean towards funniest. Yeah. Oh, geez.
But yeah, Kevin, the strangest or funniest experience during a seizure.
Okay. Um, it's been a while. Catalog all these seizures now. Um, um, taking some pretty weird falls. Let's see. On very Magoo, very Mr. Magoo. Let's see. Um, having to go through all those. Um, just waking up weird places, I guess. Waking up at the bottom of steps. Yeah, waking up at the bottom of the steps and having the nice gentleman tell me I fell down. That wasn't very. I don't know. I don't know. That's not funny. It's just that's
No,
weird.
Kev, I'm not even laughing at you. I'm laughing at Pookie using the noisemaker to smoke through right now.
I was not smoking through it. I was exhaling through it.
Yeah, see, Pookie,
Exactly, and that was hilarious.
Pookie got a freaking noisemaker.
It wasn't making noise though for some reason. It was just letting me blow out the smoke.
Okay, you see, Brandon, the noisemaker wasn't even worth it.
I love
But
getting
go
shit
ahead,
about
remind
it.
me one more fucking time that I didn't say it.
Hey, Kate, you know what I
Yo,
need? I need some noise.
So now I owe you one for that, huh? All right, let's find one just for you.
No, if you send me one, I'm gonna be forced to send you like $50 or something just because I was being an asshole.
And that probably wouldn't even cover shipping. Yeah, fuck FedEx. Here's a good one for us: impulse control and epilepsy. When I have an increase in what I've learned recently, seizures, my nervous system seems to become more agitated agitated afterwards, along with poor impulse control and just cognitive decline, basically. I had a few seizure episodes the last few days, and my brain has become super wired and impulsive, and kind of scares me how different I become. I'll binge eat out of impulsivity and do things that I wouldn't normally do afterward. When I'm less in that state, will regret and kind of feel insane and broken how far from my normal I become. My mind overall just seems a little scrambled after. Another thing, random, but I have somehow thrown away or done something with all my kitchen spoons over the last month to where I slowly went from having 4 to now 0, which again, not normal. Does anyone else struggle or heard of cognitive type issues with impulsivity and post seizure decline? Yeah, you're not on top of it after a seizure, ever. So I agree with that one. The impulsivity, I wouldn't blame the seizures for that. in personal experience. Anybody else ever had seizure or impulse issues or something unexpected in your post seizure state?
I know I've said some pretty like messed up stuff to the kind of first people that are around me after. I have like that combative
Yeah.
I don't know mentality to myself after, but nothing that I guess that I've really done like super crazy. Yeah, like throw away silverware or just any anything that would be like a different or like completely out of character type thing other than just the words that I've said. Usually I'm just too out of it and too sore and too tired to really do anything other than just go find somewhere to lay down and try and rest it out. So
Yeah. I would say it depends who I'm around. Um, when I had seizures when I was very younger, if I had a grand mal, my impulse problems would be uh, like to take a drink of liquor or something if I was around my friends, because that would be because I remember like I would have grand mal seizures at other people's houses, and that would be like a remedy for
Yeah, a lot of us have like a
helping.
reset kind of
Yeah, and
thing.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that was helpful at the time, and in hindsight, it wasn't good. But yeah, that was the most impulsive thing to do. Just like have a beer or something, and it's very impulsive. Depending on the crowd or the setting. But
Okay, so not
yeah,
necessarily impulsive or anything, but still a routine.
Yeah, kind of. I have, yeah, not I don't know too many people. Nobody knows, okay? I think just my daughter and the EMTs. I had a nocturnal seizure that turned into like this nightmare. And for whatever reason, in my nightmare, I was trying to carve off my tattoo because I thought that would get rid of the epilepsy. And I
oh,
woke up with a pair of manicure scissors in my hands, trying to carve my tattoo off my arm. And I have scars in that tattoo. So I think I know what they're talking about.
okay.
Uh, that was one of the most horrifying impulsivities in a postictal state that I've ever experienced. Um, but yeah, I think I know what they're talking about. And
did, did
I survived it.
that's what I was gonna ask. Like, did everything heal okay? Was it any serious lingering injuries or
No, no, but you
if you don't
can,
mind me asking?
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't mind. No, but I do have scars in the tattoo. So, that's why it's that reminder. It's like, wow, that was one of those freakish seizures. And because I remember how I felt when I woke up, I wasn't aware of what I was doing. And they were trying to get, this my hand away from my other arm. And I didn't even know what was happening. And neither did they, and I was like, what the hell? And after, like after a seizure like that, I started to remember the nightmare. And I was like, oh my God. I don't know if I need to talk to a psychiatrist or an epileptologist, but something really bad just happened. You know, it was one of those. But that was scary.
Yeah,
But
that's
now you
that.
never know what you tell them if something's
Story.
going to reflect negatively on your medical record.
Well, it's really interesting though because um I'm trying to get comfortable, guys. This is like, yeah, it's a lingering problem I have right now. Um, is
Take your
that
time.
the I think she's a PA that works with the epileptologist I'm seeing. She's very, very curious because I have that epilepsy that experiences literally every type of seizure. And I'm like, that's great. Do I get an award for this? But she has a lot of questions. And mm, sorry, Cottonmouth. She was like, she asked me if I remembered what happened that day, and I'm like, I remembered more a few days later. And you never know if your mind is making up the story. To be completely honest, I don't know. But the way I felt and what I want to believe is yes, that was a nocturnal seizure that turned into a nightmare, that I was not aware that I was awake and actually doing to myself. So, those are the kinds of seizures that they're like, yeah, that's a different part of your brain. And they can't say it's psychiatric, but it was occurring probably post-ictally. But yeah,
Yeah, and obviously you weren't demonstrating anything so obvious for the staff to question your judgment at the time of, you know,
right.
getting
I have never
getting in
shown,
there.
yeah, and the only time I'm ever suicidal is when I'm either prodromal or postictal or interictal. If I'm having too many clusters, I'll be talking about killing myself. And people are telling me later what happened. And it's like, wait, can we talk about that side effect? And is there anything I can do about it? Because no, I'm not going to kill myself. I mean, yeah, I know that feeling. I truly do. Been there. Um,
Yeah, somebody
so
else is saying too that they get agitated and
yeah, but the other thing though, I don't know about you guys, it depends on the way the staff is treating me. If I am getting yelled at or it just depends on how I'm getting treated. Because I've been treated with so much disrespect. It's disgusting. But anyway, but that does depend on, it can change my behavior that is beyond my awareness, and I think that's what it is. And that was one of the things I asked my therapist. I said, I think I need to talk to the psychiatrist, and I'm going to say we all agree that was part of a seizure because that is absolutely not something I would have been doing, and it's like, whoa. And it's
what else
post
could have put you in an altered state? So,
exactly, and then recognizing things like interictal or postictal psychosis. It isn't the same thing as psychiatric psychosis. It
right.
just isn't, but it can look like it. Trust me, it can look like it. So, but yeah, that is wow. I don't know why I shared that, but hey, now it's out there. And, for anybody that has ever had like those nocturnal seizures that you wake up in a terror and something like that is happening, do not blame yourself. Just dive a little deeper and get the garbage out because maybe it won't
I'll
be
make
so bad.
note because that could be what part of the brain it was in too.
Exactly. And it can be combined with CPSD PTSD. You put that all together in the mess of the soup in my brain. And it's like this poor therapist, she had a challenge, I'm not kidding. But
And that was a
yeah,
PA you're talking about?
no, that's different. My therapist is the one that
Oh,
fixed
okay.
the
I was
soup.
going to say, she must
Yeah.
have the years.
Yeah, she fixed the soup. No, the PA is really interested in the different things that I've experienced, not just right here in Rochester. And that's a first. But also the difference between, what others might call a psychogenic seizure or a psychiatric break. If you have epilepsy and they understand the details of that epilepsy, they will recognize it then as seizures. So the more questions she asks, the more I know that they're trying to define um, not a diagnosis, but make more, you know, define it so I get better care. Because
Hey,
it's
maybe
like,
that's why some psychiatrists do get further with recommending the right treatment. If they're the ones who are asking, what cravings do you have afterwards? How are you feeling? What are you thinking? No
yeah,
neurologist ever asked me about that.
yeah, I know. And then when you get lucky enough to have a neuropsych, um, I had,
Oh,
yeah, oh, he was amazing. And he was the one that got me thinking. It's like, wait, what made me feel that way? And I didn't even know I was starting to practice cognitive behavioral therapy until I took the class. It's like, oh, wait, oh, this is how I should be doing it. I get it now. But yeah, the neuropsych, they start to see behavioral patterns and associated with whatever that neurological diagnosis is, whether it's epilepsy, Parkinson's. I know he works with a lot of stroke. Um, and it's like, it's not a behavioral issue, it's physiological, or it is behavioral, and this is how we can approach it. And having that really helped me. But yeah, I get where they're coming from. It's Nocturnal seizures can be really frightening, especially when you wake up in the middle or just postictal and something weird is happening. Yikes. Yikes. But hey, Pookie, I saw what you got. I'm going to go get me one of those at Party City or Dollar Tree, and this old hippie will find a way to smoke out of it. Okay? Okay. And then I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
and that's a
Kate sent
much
it to me.
better task.
Kate sent it to
You
me.
don't need that.
And she sent me a crown. Oh, this is gonna be some
Brian
work.
isn't here, but I looked it up and talked with my mom, and it's hypersomnia. So instead of insomnia,
That's too big.
hypersomniac. Wow,
That crown's adjustable.
Nope. It's why does it go?
is your head too big or is the crown too big?
Head too
His
big.
dreads, his dreads are
The
too
hair.
big. Yeah. Yep.
The hair.
Oh, I thought you were saying the crown was too big.
Take the head off.
I go without the
Hey,
hair.
the crown
There
was
you
too big.
go.
I was like, wait a minute. It looks like your head
Oh,
is
yeah.
too big.
If I go under the hair,
King, your crown is
it's
falling.
perfect. Hold on.
She broke your crown and she cut your hair. Ah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, hey, princess.
If I have to go over
Pookie.
the hair, it's not working.
You don't
And
have to
Lufa
go
just
over
labeled you
all the
Princess
hair.
Pookie.
Princess Pookie.
Wait a minute. I gotta get my weed.
There we go. We need it.
Princess Pookie.
Hold on.
Princess Pookie.
You guys.
How's that looking?
Yes. All hail Princess Cookie.
Tried to make it in the
All
front.
right. That was
Hey,
the image we
Princess
wanted to
Pookie.
get a couple days ago.
Yeah. Thank you. This little squishy thing, though.
Glad you enjoy.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Oh, is Brandon?
Hey, we all do good with a stress ball.
Yeah.
I gotta find.
Thanks for the fidget spinner. Also, it just helps me pass time. It just keeps going and going and going. You see?
Do you guys whoa.
Right.
Damn, I kinda want a fidget spinner now.
All right, glad it's well balanced.
I might put that in the Amazon cart. My mom is sick, which is not good for her
Oh,
and not good for me. Because if I get sick, then I have a seizure.
So start with staying hydrated now. That'll help your immune system, hopefully.
Well, thankfully I have Lysol and I have alcohol 91%. So I can wipe down the entire bathroom every morning. And everything else because we share a lot of things. So I'll just be wiping everything down because I don't want to have a seizure. And I don't want her to have more stress while she's already sick because then I get sick. And every time I get sick, I have a seizure. It's like clockwork.
hey, why would you send me this?
I don't remember putting together the bag with, oh, look at Anne celebrating there.
Makes me
Next time
think
I'll
of
send you that and see if we
Inception.
can get a similar face.
I just found it in a bag. I just found it in a bag.
That was a long lost surprise.
Hey, you know I'm not photosensitive.
Okay.
This can make somebody have a
Hey, I guess
seizure.
we'll find out on camera.
I got
Yeah,
something.
let's find out on camera.
Whenever Brandon comes back, I got something to show him. Where is the?
Look at that.
There's the new one. I don't
Is
think
that-
you ever read it.
Is that a
Clearly
butane
called
lighter?
a seizure.
Yes, it is. No, well, technically no. It's a Zippo. You know,
No,
listen.
it's not that bright.
I mean, no neurologist wanted me either, to be fair. They said it was penis, PNES, but it in fact was
You said because you didn't have a penis.
I mean, that too. A lot of times women are not diagnosed with things because we are, in fact, already diagnosed as women. So that's a diagnosis.
It's
in it.
just hormones. Let's give you this antidepressant.
You're
Go
just
chill out.
overthinking
You'll find
it.
a nice
It's
guy.
because your period or you're just going through menopause. It's not that big of a deal. Okay.
And you're young on top of that? No, no chance.
You know what they never ever tell us, which really sucks? Because I know guys hear it.
The actual size of our ovaries.
Yes, we hear it a
size.
lot.
You don't hear that.
You need the big O. Okay, ladies. You want to feel better? If something hurts, you need the big O. You need those freaking hormones. Okay?
The big O?
I'm not talking from a medical standpoint. Okay? But biologically, guys got to do what they got to do, and if they don't, ooh, it's not nice. So, but
What
your
the fuck
body,
is the big O?
the big
I'm
O,
trying as hard as I can.
come on, man. I
What
mean,
is it?
even if you got to do it yourself, the just having an orgasm releases so much oxytocin. It is literally like a dose of morphine. Come on, you guys. All right. If you don't have a partner, self care. Haven't you figured me out yet?
How long has sex ed been gone?
Are you serious? I mean, did Pookie just fall on the floor?
Eddie, this is wonderful.
But really, no, seriously, scientifically and clinically speaking, it is very healthy for you. Um, and
That's one of the
it,
7 deadly sins.
it,
Lust. You're lusting after your big O.
I don't read your book. I
Sorry,
don't read,
I said
I
big
don't
O,
read
and
your
I
And
book.
it
like my
feels
name
good enough to
because people in my family have been like, "What's up, Big O?" And I'm like, "What's up?" So like now, people are gonna call me Big O. I'm gonna be like Big Orgasm, and then I'm gonna be like, "Hey."
I am
Uh,
totally humiliated now. I didn't mean to do that to you, Olivia, but
that's
yes,
okay.
I love that.
It's all right.
now your
You
nickname is
live.
gonna have a totally different meaning for you.
Yeah, people call me O all the time, and Big O, little O, and just O, and so now I'm just, gonna be like, oh, orgasm. What's up, little orgasm?
Oh yeah.
What's up? What's going on? What's going on? I heard we going to the lake.
And now we've
Big
got the title
O
for this
coming
episode.
with.
Where is my phone?
All right.
Yeah, but here it says, how do you guys maintain hope? 36-year-old female with epilepsy, and I have multiple sclerosis. When I'm not having the MS flare ups, I'm having seizures. When I'm not having seizures, I manage all my side effects from the seizure medications when I'm not having MS flare ups or seizures. I'm usually sick because I'm so immune compromised. And the worst part of it all is there's no cure for any of this. I can't imagine living with this for the rest of my life. I feel trapped in a sick body with no way out. I feel so hopeless. How do you guys all maintain hope when life with a chronic illness is so bleak?
Fast and slow at the same time.
Say that one more time.
Life goes fast and slow at the same time.
Oh yeah. All I heard was fast and slow. Yeah. Threw me off.
Pookie, I think you know what I would say. You just
Yeah. So
you just
so
keep putting
one
one
foot
foot in
in front
front
of
of the
the
other
other.
and you keep moving. That's all you can do.
One foot in front of the other. I already knew what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say it too,
Good.
but
Then I'll shut
uh,
up next time.
Yes, there is no other way to live it. You have to. I've seen people with disabilities in my family, and they're, they're very nice people around me, and they found ways to live with it. And I haven't been the best, but I'm getting better, and at dealing with it. And I don't know how to describe that. There's no instruction manual, you know, but, and I don't know how to describe it to you in 5 sentences or a paragraph. So I'll just say, yeah, you got to find your own way somehow, but it is livable. It is maintainable. Is that sufficient?
yeah.
We'll cheer you on if we ask something like that in the future and you say that you're thriving, not just getting by. But we want to hear that everybody with epilepsy can not only put one foot in front of the other, but actually enjoy life and still feel like it doesn't slow you down or define you in any sense. 'Cause that's the goal.
Wait a second. It doesn't slow me down. It doesn't define my life. It's I put one foot in front of the other. That's how I cope. But I live life to the fullest and I enjoy every day.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't mean to lessen your response at all because that is definitely the right answer for the question of just how do you cope. I was responding more to Kevin's tone on that one of just, doing what you got to do, kind of bare minimum kind of vibe.
Okay, sorry.
Anything we can do to get Jeff to contribute. We love it when you speak up.
I thought I just did. What else
Yes,
do
and
you
I'm
want me to
reminding you how
say?
much we love it.
I don't know why. I don't know anything.
I go
To
through
make
some.
Tell
you
us then, what
cry.
was your funniest seizure? Okay, go ahead.
My funny, I haven't had that many that are funny, but I guess leaving a pint of ice cream out on the counter and having a seizure and forgetting about it until about 8 hours later counts. And having to clean up the messy kitchen.
Yeah.
That's definitely one to remember.
Yeah, I forget that there's stuff on the stove a lot,
Mhm.
and I end up going in the room and forgetting I was even doing anything in there. I boiled the water out of the rice, and there was no water in there, and it was gone. It was ugly. Yeah, just one thing take my attention off the boiling water. I don't stand there the whole time. It's gonna overcook whatever it is. But I was going through the comments for the maintain hope. The first one says friends and weed. Friends and weed mostly. Doesn't always work though. Best of luck, and I'm sorry you're going through such awful shit. Another one says, I also have other chronic illnesses on top of this one. I feel so similar to you. I'm sorry you're in this ocean. It really does feel like I'm trapped inside of this sick body. So much of my life feels stolen by all of it. I don't know how to get through it. My kids, maybe, because I don't want to leave them. But yeah, heavy. And I hear you. Oh, then I got another question. It's a seizure question. My 20-year-old son had 4 seizures in the last year. One of them was while driving, and he had a minor accident. The doctors keep upping the dose of Keppra to the point he's taking 2,000 milligrams twice a day. He had a brain MRI and was clean, and an EKG that showed abnormal waves. Anymore, that didn't show any abnormal waves anymore that he had back when he was in high school. The doctor looked at my wife and I and told us the medicine was working. I looked at the doctor like, are you kidding me? We've been in here 4 times this year. The latest episode was the last night at work. The ER doctor suggested a cardiologist, and it could be related to sudden drops in blood pressure and irregular heartbeat. This was the first time we've went down this road. He mentioned it can produce seizure-like symptoms and fainting spells. Has anyone else found something like this to be true? Has anyone else had what they thought was a seizure turn out to be something else? My son is really upset, and we're just trying to find out answers. Thank you. From Brian.
Just
Number one, is this a neurologist or an epileptologist?
Um,
I don't know how many of us found out that they are very different. Especially with epilepsy, you have to have you have to have an epilepsy specialist because a general neurologist doesn't read an EEG the same way. They're not looking for the same things because they don't know to look for them, and that's not in any, I'm not saying that in any negative way at all. It's simply additional education.
Yeah, that's exactly why I wasn't diagnosed for so many years, because I didn't have that education and they didn't have that education. So both of us
Right.
like
And
well,
I'm asking people all the time, is your doctor a neurologist or an
yeah,
epileptologist?
that's what because people are like they're like, oh, like you have a neurologist. I'm like, no, I have a seizure specialist, like because I can't say the other one's really hard.
Oh, yeah.
No.
But that's the
So
point. Neurologists are not really specialists.
they're not. So I just say seizure specialist. because it's easier for me to pronounce.
Yeah, that
Um,
works. Yeah.
and they're like, "What's the difference?" And I'm like, "Well, one of them specializes in seizures and seizure activity and epilepsy, and the other one deals with, neurological shit. I don't really know what they do, but if you got like MS or something, I don't know, your movement disorder or something, then that might be more up their alley. Whereas epilepsy is you need an actual seizure specialist."
Yeah, and I didn't know that until
Me neither.
like more than a decade after I was diagnosed. I did not know that. And it's like, wait, and that was just coming around where that specialty
I wouldn't have known
was,
if I wouldn't have asked.
right?
Like I would have found out here had I not asked the younger doctor, like, why did the neurologist not pick up on the EEGs if you guys did so quickly?
Right.
And then
And when
he's,
they read the same
well,
EEG, right?
hate to break it to you, but there's an extra year of schooling actually.
Right. And it's like, oh, this is your EEG from 2012, and this is where the pattern changed. And that was in 2019 with an epileptologist looking at an old EEG, finding out where the pattern in my seizures changed. I'm like, how? Okay, fair. And that's where I started to understand the difference. So, yeah, people that, especially when they're frustrated,
Yeah.
that's that changed my frustration level fast.
I want to request my documents of the study, um, because I'm gonna have to do something like that for my disability anyways. But I did notice that during the study on the thing, I don't know how to read an EEG. That's way beyond my pay grade. Um, but it just kept doing this little spiky thing, and I was they're like they're looking at it, and there's like a bunch of them crowded over this screen because it's like also it's the Chicago uh, center, so they're also teaching people, and they're all standing over, and I'm like sitting there with all this shit wrapped on me, and I'm like, do I get to know anything? Like, can you guys let me know like what's going on? Like, what are you pointing at? Come to find out, I think those little things were the myoclonic jerks setting off in my head rapidly, consistently, which is why it kept going like up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, because I'd be laying there and they're like looking at me and they're like, you just press the red button whenever you need to. And I'm like, I don't really feel like I need to press the red button right now. And they're like, there's a lot of seizure activity in your brain right now. Like, how do you not need to press the red button? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just normally like this. Like, what do you guys mean? So I did not press the red button a lot because I'm so used to my myoclonic epilepsy things that the red button wasn't any use to me. Fortunately. Kind of felt like I let them down.
No, I usually was being asked why I didn't hit the button, unless it's the ambulatory EEGs, because I don't care how you say it, us ladies, that button got lost when I was sleeping. And I did not hit that button 170 times or whatever. It was stuck under my boob, okay? So they put in this stupid ambulatory EEG report that I had a misconception of seizure sensation. And I had to explain that to this guy. And he just looked at me and he's like, "You've got to be kidding me." I said, "No." And look, I wrote it on the notes because I kept a copy. I wrote it on the notes that I gave them. that I woke up and the button was stuck under my breast. So those were just innocuous button pushes. But no, they interpreted that as
I
yes.
Yeah, because I almost felt like I had to press the button. So there'd be like there was 2 times I pressed it, and then one time on accident because I just accidentally leaned over and I was like, oh shit. And they came over
Yeah.
and they're like, are you all good? And I was like, yes, I'm fine. And then the other 2 times I was like, I just had a little like jerk, a little movement. And they're like, all right, what do you feel? And I'm like, the same as I did before. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. I genuinely don't know what to tell you guys. And it's probably why there's so much lack of knowledge on epilepsies because we don't know what's going on as much as they don't know what's going on. Like, how are they supposed to know what's going on if we don't even know what's going on in our own heads?
And then they expect us to explain it. When oh, I was unconscious. I don't know. Well, do you remember anything? Are you serious right now? Yeah, no, I can't remember any of that.
Or they'll
But
ask, like, do you remember before, like, you remember, like, right after the seizure? And I'm like, the post-ictal phase where I was out of it? No, I don't remember. I don't remember that. When I was talking about planes, I don't remember that. I don't know anything about planes, but in my post-ictal phase, I do.
oh,
I don't know anything about planes.
we say a lot of things in those phases that I think people should know better than to hold us responsible for that. It's
You
like, I did not say that. And you're
they'll
telling
be
me,
like, you said this. And I'm like, huh?
no, that's
D-
not.
Does anybody else make like real quick notes like after one?
Like after a seizure?
The notes that I make
Y-
right after never make sense.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
usually don't, but at least you know
or they don't.
it
They're not readable.
they well
I,
um
I put
I
a
mean
quick
for
note.
me at least personally, you know, it's just like basic like tiny little things of like this is what I was doing. This is the last thing I can remember. This was the first thing I can remember after it. Like just little things so that way I started doing that so that way I could maybe find like a certain connection between them or anything. But yeah, like you said, a lot of the times I look at it later and I'm like, what does that and that mean? Like that's 3 words. That was supposed to be a whole sentence. Like what the fuck does that even?
Because a lot of the times I
That's
find
why one of the good ways to do it is to like have somebody to send a message to,
yeah,
or just find a way to record it on the phone, so that way you'll have a timestamp.
yeah, because I find that I'll
Yeah.
try to dumb it down into like short words, and then not only do I have bad handwriting, but literally I don't make sense. So when I try to dumb things down, it just doesn't make any more sense. And it's like I read it back to myself and I'm like, holy shit, is this how people interpret me? Like this is this is
I
really
do. I think the same thing. Like, yeah, like, damn, the first, you know, couple people I talked to after this happened must think I'm absolutely nuts, you know, if they didn't know my condition already. But yeah, just try and make like a couple of little notes, just see if I can, you know, even a few words might like trigger a memory, and then maybe I'll remember something additional that I wouldn't have, or just like something to connect, try and connect them. I mean, it's probably a completely worthless thing to do, but at least it makes me feel in my head like I'm attempting to be productive about it. And sometimes I guess just that feeling is is helpful to try and get over the fact of having to deal with all this bullshit. So,
helping.
right? So,
There's an interesting one here. Somebody's asking, could semi-conscious imaginary rocking be a seizure? You know the transition state between wake and sleep? It's usually a feeling I'm afraid of because it reminds me of my seizure auras. For a while now, I sometimes feel like I'm rocking in bed, not side to side, but front to back. Sometimes it's small motions like doing crunches. Over times, I think it must be rocking the whole bed. This morning, as I was experiencing the rocking, it occurred to me that it could be seizure related. As I tried to stop myself, I realized that I wasn't physically moving like I had always assumed, but the sensation was all in my head. I managed to get enough control to stop, but the effort woke me up fully with my teeth clenched. Has anyone experienced something like this? It doesn't sound like seizure activity I've ever heard of, but it be a normal quirk of the semi-conscious state, or should I be concerned? The teeth clenching is what's got me thinking this is more than just a sensation, that there's definitely some activity going on that's prompting motions. So I would like to see that on an EEG. What do you guys think?
I think you should really go see a doctor really fast. I would make an appointment as soon as possible.
The original poster saying that this only in my head thought is having them think that epilepsy makes them paranoid. The other responses are saying that they've had this sensation their whole lives because they've been on boats and roller coasters and they still have that kind of sensation, I guess, before they fall asleep.
Something you should talk to your neurologist about.
Yeah.
So they know everything that's going on.
Yeah, just because they mentioned the teeth clenching thing, pretty much for a good chunk of most of the seizures I have, I've bitten my tongue. I have like I can't really show it on the video, but it has to be up close. But like if you really look at it, you can tell that like a chunk of my I've bitten off the end of my tongue. It's definitely not a normal shape.
Your
Any
camera's not on.
Yeah, my camera's off, but the audio is working, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just have my video off right now. I'm looking and feeling shitty today, man. So, um, is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Just making
Okay, just
sure.
making sure. Yeah, I know we're good. But yeah, so like the right kind of side, the tip of my right side of my tongue is like kind of gone. Like you can see it's like a straight kind of flat cut. I don't know how to explain it, but I've bitten it off. And a couple of the times where I've had it where they have been nocturnal and I've been lying in bed having it. I've had to get rid of a couple of bed sheets because I wake up and there's a good decent sized kind of blood stain there from biting it off, and then a mixture of like when you drool while you're having one too. so um yeah, basically I was saying, yeah, if the teeth clenching thing, if that's not something normal for that person, then that's probably a good sign, or not good, but you know what I mean. It's
It's time to see a doctor.
identifying sign that they probably are having some sort of epileptic episode.
Oh, are you done talking? I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
Did you
Angel.
do,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, if you
Hello,
disagree, let
everyone.
me know. I want to hear everyone's perspective.
Yes. Well, hello, Angel. Just wanted to say hi, Angel. Um, yeah, and then I forgot what else I was gonna say.
Uh, I was talking about the like teeth clenching and how I've bitten off the end of my tongue and
Oh yeah, that happens a lot when people have
the
seizures.
blood stains. Yeah, that's why I was saying I think this person probably is having some sort of epileptic episode.
I
Um,
figured out
but
in this group that the scars on the inside of my cheek are from my seizures, which is why I have those big lines inside my cheeks
mm,
from biting them. And I just bite them regularly, but to be fair. Um I did want to read you guys a poem. from about, I want to say maybe 6 or 7 years ago, 5, something like that, in that time range.
Is
How
it this is by you?
Yep, I think I was around. Oh, this is a while ago, actually. This might have been like 7 years ago. I think I was about 13. Um, this was my early days of smoking, and I wrote up. I wrote my thoughts on Sour Patch Kids. And this is what I mean by my thoughts don't make any sense, because to this day I still type like this sometimes. Um, Bro, I'm thinks like with the Sour Patch Kids heads watermelon, and they make it taste like melon. And do they taste like Sour Patch Kids regular, or are they regular Sour Patch Kids are like green apple and strawberry?
Was that was
That
the
was
whole
that
thing?
was Yep, that was the poem. Yep.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing in general because I do have
It
like
made no
a
sense.
notebook, a notebook. Yeah, I have this notebook of like random like scribblings and writings, and I have some stuff where I thought I was like, yeah, this is a
Yeah.
genius like
Well,
lyrical poem, and then I look at it later and I'm like, what the was I thinking?
one of the first times that I started smoking, I was in my closet, and I had Pop Rocks with me, but in the closet as well was the litter box, and I dropped a Pop Rock on the floor and picked it up and put it in my mouth, and it wasn't popping. And I realized that I had put a piece of cat litter in my mouth. Yeah. Thank you, Mighty Monarch, for the look. Appreciate it. Um, No, it was actually really funny. It's something that I cannot ever live down. I'll never die that down. That'll never be able to be lived down. That's just unfortunate that I did that. I was really confident too. I never did find the pop rock either. And one time my blunt blew away in the wind, a freshly rolled blunt. I was outside and it was snowing, and this big ass gust of wind came by, like Frosty the Snowman or some shit, or Jack Frost or some bullshit. And there goes my blunt. And there I am at like 10 o'clock at night with my flashlight on my phone looking in the snow for my blunt, and it's just gone. That was an awful night.
Swept
Freshly,
that off for a happy
probably,
bird or a squirrel or something.
yeah, high as hell now. I lit it and it blew away. It's like a bird done took it out my hands, or it just blew away. And I could not find it. I looked for like 30 minutes in the snow with my bare hands, came home with frostbite, sober.
I got an even worse one. Well, I don't know if it's even worse because your situation. But yeah, I was smoking in my sister's backyard, and she has dogs. So I was on the phone also. So I'm just walking casually, just smoking and walking, and I dropped the blunt. And when I went looking for it with my phone light, I found it, and it was like smushed in between a piece of shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ew. Did
So I
you
didn't
use it
smoke it.
though?
No, I did not smoke it.
Thank you, God, for your response of no.
Yes.
I feel like if you would have caught me on a bad day, my response would have been different, unfortunately.
I
Bad
don't know if I
days.
could do it. I don't know. Like,
And that is why Frosty the Snowman took yours and did not wedge it into some unsanitary conditions.
Yeah, that is
I was really thinking about like how would I rinse this off? I was
I was
I was
gonna, yeah,
contemplating.
I was gonna say the same thing as Lufa too. Basically, man, if it was just like one of those really bad days, I would have been like, all right, I'm just gonna have to like wipe this off or like cut off
Y'all is
the
wild.
dirtiest part of it and then get back to it. but
Need you to understand,
depends
guys.
on the mood.
I've
Depends
come
on the
I
from
mood.
like
thought
the bottom up, okay? So this is like in my bad days, when I was, you know,
I have literally
sipping on
messaged
carts
people.
that were color of black tar.
I have
Oh.
messaged friends at 6 in the morning to be like, "Yo, can I just get a gram off you to get me until when the dispensary opens up?"
It was
I
so
would
much.
still not smoke weed that had fallen in shit. No.
But you have friends, Brandon. I don't have friends.
They still would say no because it's
Good
6 in the
point.
morning and they're not even awake yet.
Have friends
Well,
now,
the
Lupa.
plug out here would probably say yes, but because they're probably awake at that time, unfortunately. That's when they're awake, and then we sleep during the day, and they're like insane, but it's fine. They're like, I'm on my way, and then like 8 hours later at 12 a.m., they're like, I got you with your weed. I'm like, yeah, I hit you up at like, this morning, but whatever.
At least they didn't forget about you completely, right?
No,
You
they
gotta
don't
give them
forget
that.
about you, but they definitely don't prioritize you. They prioritize whatever. I don't even know what the fuck, because I used to like ride around with this one guy who used to deal and whatnot, and we'll keep this out of the video, but um he he'd have some big ass orders come in, and he'd just be like sitting on his ass ordering, like taking his time going to these places, and I'd be like, dude, like, I call him PBJ, but I'd be like, dude, like, we have to make this order? Like, don't we have to go deliver this? And he's like, yeah, no, I told him I'd be there in 20. I'm like, but we're 40 minutes away. And he's like, yeah, no, it'll be chill, it's fine. And then it's like 4 hours later, and he's like,
Damn.
oh, you still want the stuff? And the guy's like, yeah, I've been like texting you over and over again.
Yeah. That's why when I was a bike messenger, it was just like there were time frames. You got paid a certain amount to deliver the thing, and it had to be done in the time.
Yeah, no, he takes
And
his
with
time.
drug dealers, they just go, nah, I'll get to you
Whenever
when I
I
get to
feel
you.
like.
I'll get to you when it happens. I've actually had my guy text me and be like, yo, I totally forgot. Do you still need that? And it had been 6 hours, and I'm like, yes,
It's
yes,
when
I
they
still
ask,
need
do
it.
you still need it? Like, yeah, I've been waiting. I've
I
literally
wasn't
been waiting.
I wasn't hitting up 5 different guys. I
For
was
no
relying
reason.
on you, like because you said yes.
Well, and then like this one guy, he was like, and he had like all fucking day, he was off work. He's like, I'm just stopping here. I'm grabbing they're always stopping somewhere. They're always stopping at a store or something. They're always grabbing a pack of blunts, or they're grabbing this, or they're grabbing that. And I'm like, can you just come here? And the guy, he's like driving here, and mind you, it's like 12 a.m. now, and I'm asleep because I just waited all day. I just waited at home all day in the comfort of my home for you to come deliver this shit ass weed. And he's like, hey, should I come tomorrow? Like, you're not responding. And I wake up the next morning and I'm in a panic because I'm like, damn it. Like, dude, why? Just come in a normal time. Why do you just, like, wake and bake? Do
It's
normal.
important stuff. They got to get those receipts for write-offs and, tax write-offs for.
And then he started taking his entire car apart to get my weed out. And I was like, what the fuck is in this weed that you have to take your entire car apart like you're coming through the border? What is going on? And he just laughed it off like, yeah, I'm just kind of paranoid with the feds. And I was like, what has you that paranoid like that? Because I didn't order fucking ketamine, cocaine, fuck.
Smuggling like diamonds and gold and rare
It was
antique
just
or
like
something in there too, right?
weird. It was just weird because it was like it was a cart. It was three carts, and it's like usually just hands it to me in a bag, and instead of he gets a bag out and then he pulls one card out from the middle console, and then he reaches over to my side of the door and takes off the entire like part where you would open the door up and
Yeah.
grabs the other stuff out of there, and I look at him and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, it's just like, I just gotta be careful. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, you want to talk about it? Like, are you okay? Is everything good at home? Like, is the car
Yeah, that
okay?
seems a little over the top just for some
Well, and then
weed.
he's like, can you make sure that that's on securely so that they don't see if they pull me over? And I'm like, don't do anything to get pulled over. Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just, if we're driving with illicit substances in the car, why don't we drive properly? But that's something that dealers also don't know how to do. It just seems to run blood, all of them. They like to think that they can drive erratically and not get pulled over and then not get searched. And it just makes me think like, what way?
Well,
Or
yeah, I mean, if you're selling like 20.
I've only ever had sex, oh my god, that was weird. I've only had a seizure going into sex where like we hadn't actually started yet, but I had um where we hadn't started yet, but I felt one coming on. Like took a break, it went away, started up again, and then it came back, and it was sort of like, yeah, no, we're done for the night. This is not happening. Are you happy now? I've got my video on.
Here you
And
go.
now we can freely welcome Mark and Angel. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. All
What's the
right, Angel,
icebreaker?
we can go ahead with what was your
Angel, oh my.
like goofiest seizure? Like what was something silly that you did during a seizure or your postictal?
Oh, I don't even know because all mine are usually unaware.
Yeah, you'd actually have to remember them, right?
Well, but did anybody like bring it up to you after the fact? Sort of like, oh, you were doing this, you know?
No,
Oh,
no.
damn.
It's
So you
like
never even
you had
saw
a
something
seizure.
out of place after the fact or something like that?
Um,
Something that made you go like, huh, that's weird.
oh yeah. Well, when I dislocated my elbow, I was the only one who's like, oh yeah, that's hanging down. And I'm the only one like not looking like, uh
I hate to be like you kind of missed the plot there, but if that's all you got, that's all you got. It's okay.
But that's Angel, and we love it. Always the best response. Mark, same question. Let's see what direction you take.
I don't really get if Angel's answer wasn't the plot, then I don't know what it's supposed to be or mean.
Whatever you
Uh,
take
Well,
it as.
yeah, take it however you want. Like whatever you think is the goofiest thing that's ever happened to you, like that's related to your seizures.
I was told that the girl I had a crush on at the time kissed me on New Year's, but I don't remember it. So I don't know if it actually happened or not.
That tells you that
So
it happened and it was that good.
I'm no, I'm conflicted about it because if it did happen, then it's a goofy post-seizure thing, but if it didn't happen, then it's some pretty brutal bullying on the part of my coworkers at the time,
But
and
Mark, think
it's
of it this
a
way. They
coin
were
flip.
coworkers at the time. They're not your coworkers now. You don't need
Yeah,
to think about them anymore. You can just think of it as like
but the
you can think about it
situation, was
positively.
it truly goofy?
It
Is that, does that
assuming
really qualify?
assuming it happened, it's pretty funny, I guess, you know.
I don't know. I don't know if I really believe that it happened.
Of
Well,
course it happened.
I want to believe that you got a kiss. Come on, Mark. Come here. I'll give you a kiss right now. Mm.
No
Just
dispute over
experience
vocabulary.
experience suggests otherwise. I don't know.
You got a Brandon kiss.
Not sure if you read this one, Kate, but I have one that says, forgot a conversation that happened 2 weeks ago. Long story short, I was talking to one of my coworkers about an injury I had, and today they wanted to follow up about it, and they told me that they talked to me 2 weeks ago, and I have no memory of it. I think it's from the medication because if I think hard enough, I think I remember having the conversation, but I don't remember any details of it. I know my medicine messes up my memory, but it's scary when I have these giant gaps of time that I forget important things of my life about. Does anybody else forget chunks of things like events and conversations that you just don't remember having? There you go. That Mark just answered that. Yeah. Um, I got some.
Like on a daily basis, basically.
I've told someone that I don't remember doing something, and then I told someone else that I did. And then when they seen each other, basically my stories didn't add up because one I told I didn't and one I told I did. But I had remembered once I seen the second one. When I seen the first one, I didn't remember, and I think I just said whatever, which then made me look like a liar. Okay,
I
you got
made the
something?
mistake of authorizing purchases. Post-ictal, I got a request on the phone from, a couple hours before saying so and so wanted this purchase, and I went ahead and gave the password and definitely forgot until I got the statement or some notification from the bank, and that was surprising.
I made a Tinder account because I wanted to make new friends since I didn't want my old ones to skew my memories and make me think I did things that I didn't do. So I need a whole new group of friends. So I made a Tinder account.
Yeah, that's a good one. You got me there. Yeah, I've forgotten those certain events, not necessarily weeks at a time. But yeah, people these days are seeing this and telling me stuff that happened that I didn't bring up yet. So I feel like, why didn't you tell me this 10 years ago? But yeah, we're gonna go through some of the comments here. One says, I have absolutely had multiple experiences like this. I honestly just thought it was just brain damage from seizures. Another one says, I will literally forget a conversation during the conversation. It's absolutely normal for me to have to ask, I'm sorry, what topic were we discussing again? I try to figure it out by the context, but sometimes it's just gone. It's like my brain just randomly resets. Oh, yeah. Apparently, I saw a car flip over in a dramatic fashion a couple months ago. Don't remember it.
Hey Mark,
Yeah,
how's the gardening growing? That first harvest looked pretty successful.
Oh yeah, that first harvest. first harvest from the plants is generally the smallest harvest too. So it looks on track to be a bigger harvest than last year. So you gotta let me know when they arrive and um what you think of everything. Um whatever is not um like nice and firm, if it's squishy, just toss it. Um, and whatever you are not going to be using like right away in the first day or two, I would just stick in the freezer until you're able to use them. Um, but
I'll need
yes,
to
this
know
is
which ones are the hottest because I need to uphold my promise to take a bite of whatever the hottest one is on camera. I gotta uphold that promise. So I need you to let me know which one is the
you
hottest.
know, I'm not entirely sure which one will
Are they
be the
devil
hottest.
peppers?
Get a
There's
handful
the
of each
ghost
one.
pepper. Yeah, yeah, just try everyone. There's the ghost peppers, um, which are pretty hot. There's
I'll be dicing
uh,
them to freeze, so I can definitely let you know.
I sent two. You got the only two. Dorset Naga. They are they weren't quite ripe yet. But they were starting to turn, so they might actually be the freshest ones by the time they arrive. But they look like the ghost peppers, but they're a little stubby versions of them. They're quite a bit smaller. But the Dorset Naga was actually for a short time the record holder for the world's hottest pepper. It was the Carolina Reaper that took it away from the Dorset Naga. So that might be a good candidate to try. But there's also the I was surprised I was growing what I thought was CGN 21500, which is from a seed bank in the Netherlands, but it turned out to have been the the one seed cell in the tray over, and it's a cross between the CGN 21500 and uh, the 7-pot Barak core pepper, which is from Jamaica, and it gets its name 7-pot from the uh, saying that one chili pod from that plant is strong enough to heat up 7 pots of stew. Um, but I don't know how much of the heat of that father plant will get down into um the children. It's interesting. They've got the shape of their mother, the color of their father. They get the purplish hue in the sunlight of their mother. It's very interesting to see how the genetics of of plant crossing works out with these. But the 7-pot Barak core is up there among the Carolina Reapers as one of the hottest in the world. So if that part passed down to those peppers, then they might be the hottest. So there's at least 3 different candidates there. But I think I recall you saying the ghost pepper. When I mentioned that I grew ghost peppers, I think you had said you would eat a ghost pepper and not necessarily strictly the spiciest one of the batch. But I don't know. Maybe Pookie has footage of it and can go back and see what. But
Yeah, I don't remember. I know I do
But now
have a
this
video.
hybrid sounds more interesting than anything.
yeah, and the shape is really cool. That there might be a little difficulty telling the difference because the Scotch bonnets are little red guys, and the Barakpur are slightly bigger red guys. Both reddish and stuff, but the the Barak core look like they have little belly buttons at the bottom, like little innie belly buttons, and the Scotch bonnets kind of taper outwards. So the red Jamaican Scotch bonnets have the outies, and the CGN cross Barak cores have the innies. Um, but yeah, and they're quite a bit heavier too. It seems like they've got a really thick flesh wall, so they're like for the size of them, they weigh a lot. But hopefully the mail system will work out nice and quickly.
I got
Side note, SpaceX just launched a super heavy from Boca Chica in Texas. And I think it splashed down over in the Indian Ocean just not too long, like a few minutes ago. So cool rocket stuff.
Friend got a seizure, fully conscious and able, but not able to talk for 10 minutes. Help me and my girlfriend. Help. Me and my girlfriend were hanging out and we just decided to break up. And she was hugging me and crying for a while, and then suddenly it felt like she was twitching. Her heartbeat was fast and the breathing was so fast and quick breaths. And then she couldn't talk. I asked her, talked to her, and she finally texted me saying she couldn't talk, but she can type and tells me what's going on. She finds it very hard to breathe. However, she is fully conscious and able to move, but cannot talk. This episode lasted 10 minutes and now she is normal. I asked her if this has ever happened to her, and she said the last time it happened was when she broke up with her ex. Could this be something like stress induced seizure? Um, thoughts on that one? Because thoughts on that one is, I don't think that person's telling her the truth. I mean,
What, you don't think that the person with the seizure typing
I don't
is
believe the
telling the,
story. I'm sorry. I don't.
you don't believe any of the story?
I believe like the person she's saying, the person's telling her, the last time I got this is when I broke up with someone. They're only having seizures during these type of breakups, and she can't answer the phone. It seems a little bit. Someone I can't answer because I can't talk. I had a seizure, so I can't talk. Panic attack does make a little sense.
BRB having seizure. Type, send. Right.
Yeah, just sounds a little, made me a little skeptical.
Honestly,
Yeah, I was. Oh, sorry.
I'm with,
oh
I'm
no,
with
I was,
Pookie on that.
And you
yeah,
got
I,
something?
yeah, I've had times that I could not talk, but I could text.
Hmm.
The texts don't necessarily make sense either, but they'll make enough sense, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's times I
Hmm.
cannot talk and have a conversation, but I can tell you, hey, I need help in a text.
Okay. Um,
So,
I just didn't believe her because she said the last time it happened was her last breakup.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking panic attacks, man. She might be having anxiety attacks.
The only comment says if I had a seizure that lasted 10 minutes, she would probably have irreversible brain damage. Evan, did you have something to say earlier before Ann started talking?
No, I was just saying, yeah, I was also leaning on the skeptical side. Just so I mean, this person is an epileptic. They said this person they broke up with,
Yeah.
they're diagnosed. Okay. It always possible, but yeah, uh, I don't know. It just the odds are there, but I'm just leaning on the maybe side. Like
Earlier
I
tonight, we
got.
were talking about having a seizure when, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm finished. I got.
Okay. There was
Yeah.
something, a discussion about having a seizure while an airbag is deployed. And I was looking at some stuff about that. And it looks like one of the reasons that could definitely result in worse injuries is if you're too close. Like you could end up in any accident really being closer to the airbag, but especially during a seizure, yeah, you could be a lot closer, and that could definitely result in like just way more of a forceful impact. And there's your TBIs and broken bones and uh, eye damage, a lot of vision risk at that. So having a seizure during airbag deployment would definitely be worse. I don't see anything about the tension, but I mean, we know if you're just as sore, during a bad seizure as usual, if you have like a forceful impact on top of that, that definitely sounds like it'd be worse.
I don't know. A
This has never
lot
happened to
of
anybody here.
the injuries in a car accident are whiplash related, and the swinging of this, I mean, the head is this massive weight on top of this flimsy little stack of bones, and that, swinging forward and then suddenly jerking back. If all of the muscles in the neck all the way around are tensed up and holding that in a like a tonic-clonic sort seizure, that might help to keep the head a bit more stabilized in the actual impact itself rather than, I mean, it's not it doesn't say anything or touch on the airbag at all, but that is another factor. I mean, it just when you were talking about that, the thought of, those neck braces came to mind. And, what's the point of those neck braces is keeping the head straight. So that definitely, when I saw the video of my TC, my neck was perfectly straight and not going anywhere. So, um, one factor that might actually reduce the injury in a car accident, maybe from a complete non-medical professional here.
Yeah, that could be. I was told that since a lot of my TCs start with a head turn, that if I think they were telling me when I fell down the stairs that that was the more concerning factor. Basically, they were happy that I didn't have like such an impact, or I forget what I fell on. Maybe it was only like two stairs or something, but they said that if you have an impact when you're tensed up looking to the side, that you're more likely to get a dislocation or something fracturing. That even though the muscles are tensed up, that doesn't necessarily protect the bones, I guess. So
Yeah, the joints might pop out or lock up differently depending on the position. Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
keeping it straight in a straight line though, that probably is stronger.
Yeah, nobody's neck brace has them, turned like that, walking around. They're coming out of um, yeah. Uh,
I got one. It says, does anyone else hardly ever leave their house because of seizures? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't drive. I lost multiple jobs because of seizures. Now I feel like I'm just wasting away. I'm on medication for depression too, but nothing is working. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there like this. Not sure what to do anymore. Does anyone hardly leave their house because of seizures? Um, no, I don't leave by choice most of the time. If I'm by myself, then yeah, I'll leave. If I'm with my kids, then yeah, I'm stranded because I don't want to go in public with them and then wander off and they're just gonna follow me like, hey, Dad, where we going?
I don't let my seizures hold me back, even if it might put me in the emergency room. I don't want my epilepsy to keep me stuck in the house, you know? It's it's like I can go out and visit my friends or go get, go see my daughter and do stuff. Let her go to the playground, but I won't let epilepsy be the reason that I regret something.
Anyone else not leave the house because of epilepsy? Are you guys just there by choice? Well, actually, it wasn't because
I
of
mean,
epilepsy.
sometimes yeah, sometimes I choose not to do things because of it, just because it's more of, a hassle. Like if I had my own, keys, I could just grab them, leave, go where I want to go, and then come back home. But for me, I mostly, like I mentioned before, I ride my bike everywhere. So then I gotta, that takes some effort. Got to pack up, the bags, make sure I have my lock on me, or even if I don't do that, I still have to, then take the time to you know, call in Uber or a Lyft. And like sometimes, I mean, like, we all have like our days where our meds don't make us feel that great. So then it's just like anything seems like a chore, right? So then like you got to do that, all that extra other stuff too, just to get someplace. And then you're just like, cool, I'm here. And then you also got to remember that you have to get your ass back home too. So sometimes it is just like, yeah, if I didn't have epilepsy and I could drive my own car, I would go do it. Other times I'm just like, nah, fuck it. I'll just sit here and watch something on YouTube or play a video game or so, or, some hobby or something, right? Like, so it's 50-50, I guess, on that one for me. It's not exactly a choice. It is, but it isn't. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I totally get that. I don't leave the house much. I don't know because of uh obviously I don't have seizures anymore, but I still don't leave the house. I mean, the only reason I really left the house before was to, I went to some bars and stuff. That was fun. That was something to do. At least it was something, you know. Um, but yeah, there's just not much to do when you don't have any money and you're still pretty physically limited. Uh, it's it's a crapshoot, You're, uh, I don't I don't feel like borrowing my mother's credit card to for Tinder or something. I just think that's a disgrace. A grown man should not be doing that, so I'm not going to do that.
I was gonna add something very similar, yeah, to that. Like, man, like sometimes, yeah, I do want to, maybe go out, meet some other people or something like that. But as little money as I make, it's like one drink is what I make, for like a couple days, for the little bit I'm at work and everything. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna bum off of my parents you know, for something like that. Like, sure, if it's like I need a new pair of jeans or shoes or something, like I won't be ashamed for that. But to be like, hey, mom, can I have a few bucks so I can go get a beer? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's
not
fine.
that's
Yeah.
embarrassing, right?
I mean, I have done stuff. I have joined social clubs, and
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm not
uh,
saying I'm perfect and I've like never ever done that, but it's just
no-
something like it's not a habit. I don't take
nothing wrong
advantage.
with that. No, no, nothing wrong with like joining a sports club, getting out there, getting healthy, and I've tried those, and uh, not to get off topic, but it's going to be more difficult now because the city's shutting down, so I can't go out after 9 o'clock. So, uh, but yeah, but that's part of being disabled. That is definitely a huge part of uh, the disability preventing me from doing things. I will not be able to, you know, half of the city's transportation is shutting down now. So
Oh geez.
yeah, Angel knows. So um, yeah, I don't know what to
The
do about that.
budget cut
Um,
type of stuff, or
what's that?
oh, I said, is it like budget cut type of stuff, or is there certain?
It's a state thing. Um,
Oh, okay, okay.
they won't give us the funds for the for our public transportation. So, but
Oh, so
yeah,
it's not like a school year kind of thing?
no, no,
Gee.
they're fine.
Oh,
I
okay, yeah.
mean,
Some places shut down early
the-
during certain times of the year.
it's a matter of spite. We have the funds. The funds are there. It's certain
They're
people
just being
in the Senate.
dispersed to others.
They just won't do it. They're saying, "Fuck Philadelphia." They
Yeah.
they will not give us the money for our public transportation,
Come on,
which
James, I gotta
goes
see your expression of that. Turn on the camera, man. We all look like shit sometimes.
All right, fine. I did want to respond to that in a little bit more harsh way. I just didn't want to get like too political and be too far. Hi guys. I didn't want to be too far off topic and yeah, start a whole political conversation about it. But yeah, that's unfortunate that they're doing that. And actually, yeah, thanks to you mentioning it earlier, Kevin, I did start looking into the different like discounts that there are for I don't know what you want to call it, different modes of transportation for people with epilepsy. The Epilepsy Foundation, you can file to get a $500 credit for Uber rides. Actually, it's only open for 1 month where you can apply for it. Unfortunately, it was back in June, so I just missed it. But there was that. There was something for my local bus um, AC Transit that we have here too. So there's some other stuff I'm looking into, and I never thought about that until you had mentioned your
yeah,
area doing that for disabled people. So I appreciate you putting that thought in my head.
that's good. Good. I'm glad you got that.
So the comments about this, because we didn't go there, about leaving the house hardly, if you guys remember. First comment says, I only leave my apartment for 20 minutes a day, pretty much. I go to the market and back. Woohoo. Another one says, this is the most relatable post I've ever seen. I'm in the same boat with you. I'm definitely noticing personality changes in myself too. I used to be happy and go and a go-getter, but now every day seems like a blend in and nothing helps me. It's bad when I start losing interest in my hobbies. It sucks 100%. And not sure if it's the meds making me depressed or if it's just me coming to terms with my reality. All this to say, I understand you and you're not alone. Another one here says, I only leave to take my dog out. Then doctor appointments are rare, and then visit my grandparents. My parents drive me. That's it. I recently had my birthday, and my grandmother said, I look much younger than my age. I said, yeah, because I never go outside into the light.
Just real quick, um, I wanted to add back way back before I was diagnosed with epilepsy, so I can't blame this on the epilepsy at all, but I have historically been a shut-in, and for a couple of years, Google Maps had you know how Google Maps gives like your monthly, you drove X
Yeah.
distance. Yeah. Um, my average for several years, I would drive 4 miles in 1 month. Um, so that's, you know, that is approximately how far it takes to get to the grocery store and back 2 times. So, yeah, not the epilepsy, but I do know what it's like to to have restricted movement.
Another comment is, go where? What's that? Another person says, back when I couldn't drive, I was very depressed. I have had the freedom to drive, need to be able to get out. I also need to have a job. I take depression meds, and it wouldn't keep me from feeling depressed while I wanted to drive. And people have fired you because of your epilepsy, then it's discrimination and you can sue. I would also look at maybe getting assistance from the government. So to let you know, you're not the only one. Not being able to drive is the worst. I have little rides to town for items a couple times a week. I can't believe this is my life at 42. Someone saying something?
No, something driving by.
Which is a little ironic considering we were talking about driving. We all hear an go by.
Or mocking us.
That's funny. I mean, I'll just add in I mean, that person said that they're, 42. I'm 39. It's the same thing. I want to go to the grocery store, just grab some juice, some milk, just any small little thing. It's got to be, like I was talking about earlier, you got to load up, you can't just park your car, click a button, and it's locked up safely. With a bike, you got to make sure there's, first of all, that the place has a bike rack, then you have a decent lock on you, then you got to lock it up, bring your bags in with you. It's even for the smallest things.
Backpack,
Yeah,
any sort of pole or metal object, and kryptonite locks will fit in your back
exactly.
pocket. So those three
I
issues
do
are
not
actually
try.
very easy.
I I don't I don't trust anything less than my 18-pound Ubis lock. I had a few years ago. I had my about nearly $10,000 giant e-bike stolen from me. They cut. I had a little bit cheaper lock. They were able to cut through it. It was the middle of the day. I was in a store for literally 5 minutes. I felt like such an idiot being somebody that's worked at a bike shop for my entire life. So I just don't trust. I don't trust human beings. So it's either I just bring it in bring it right into the store with me and say, you know, screw whatever they try and tell me, or I just I bring the huge lock, or I just don't go in. Maybe that sounds stupid or arrogant or something, but when I've had that much, of an expense, stolen from me, and it's my only mode of transportation, it makes me a little paranoid.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.